Please welcome the candidates seeking the office of District Attorney, Jeff Rosen and Dolores Carr. Incumbent. Jeff Rosen, your opening statement, please.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming out, and I appreciate you hosting this event and inviting me. I'm Jeff Rosen, and I'm running for District Attorney because I'm passionate about pursuing justice in a fair way that treats everyone equally and with respect. I have broad support in my run for District Attorney, from the Santa Clara County Bar Association, the San Jose Mercury News, to elected officials like State Senator Elaine Alquist, Assemblyman Paul Long, mayors all up and down in the county. In addition, a number of police officer associations, including the Deputy Sheriff's Association, has endorsed me, as well as the retired District Attorney for 4 terms, George Kennedy. So the question is why? Why do I have this broad support from more prosecutors in the District Attorney's office than my opponent to numerous public defenders? Why? Because I'm experienced. I've been a prosecutor for 15 years. I'm tough. I've handled some of the most difficult and high-profile cases in this county, including rape, child molestation, and murder. And I'm fair. I don't think every case is worth the maximum. Some are. Some cases are worth the middle term or the low term. Sometimes charges should be dismissed or reduced. So I'm experienced, I'm tough, and I'm fair. We need change. The actions of the current District Attorney have been called into question by many in the community, and we need change. For the first time in its history, the Santa Clara County Bar Association voted a sitting District Attorney, Ms. Carr, not qualified. What's my vision for justice? It's having a cold case unit to use DNA evidence to solve the over 300 unsolved murder cases in this county. It's having a conviction integrity unit to use that DNA evidence and look at past convictions that we've gotten and make sure that those convictions are solid. It's about open discovery, where we invite defense attorneys to our office to review our files and make sure they have everything they're entitled to. It's about respecting the independence of the judiciary. I won't blackball or blanket challenge judges. And I think we need a new approach to officer-involved shootings, which I'm happy to discuss if there's questions about that. So finally, when you elect me as the District Attorney, I will serve this community with hard work, with good judgment, with integrity, and with humility. I look forward to working with you and learning from you when I become the District Attorney. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning, folks. Thank you very much for being here. I'm Dolores Carr, and I'm honored to have served as your district attorney over these last 3.5 years. Let me tell you about the job of the district attorney, because it's not about trying cases. Our last DA hadn't tried a case in his whole administration, and I don't try cases because what I'm paid to do is to run the largest Northern California DA's office in the state of California, the 6th largest in the state. We have 45,000 cases that come through our office every year. I have an $85 million budget and almost 500 employees. I also have responsibility for the crime laboratory in Santa Clara County. So what's the job of the DA? The job of the DA is to manage the personnel and set priorities for the office and how we're fighting crime to make you safe. Because our job as the DA, or my job as the DA, is to keep our community safe by taking criminals off the street. My job is to manage a budget and to make the hard decisions that you have to. And sometimes, as Ken Yeager just told us, we've got to cut back, and we've had to do that. As the DA, since I took office, I inherited a $3.5 million debt from my predecessor. And I had to clear that as well as $1.5 million in my first 5 months in office. I've cut over $11.7 million from our budget, and we've been able to keep our services really at a very high level. But I have had to cut particular programs and to spread that work out, such as the cold case unit that my opponent describes. But it's easy to say we should have these programs, but you have to figure out how to pay for it. My top priority, fighting gang violence. And I'm proud to say that the gang violence homicide rate has gone down steadily from 2007, largely from the collaboration and the aggressive prosecutions that we've had. I've been on the Mayor's Gang Prevention Task Force since I've been the DA. We work collaboratively together with all of the police chiefs. I'm proud to have the endorsement of our Sheriff Lori Smith and Chief of Police in Santa Clara, Steve Lodge. But I'm also strong in prevention. And I've implemented across the county the Parent Project, which is a very good crime prevention tool, giving parents in our community the support they need to keep their kids out of the juvenile justice system. So what have I done in the neighborhoods? Well, I write an article every month for the community newspapers. I go out to the community organizations, the neighborhood associations. I address their annual meeting at their invitation, because government cannot do it alone. We need to engage all of you in our neighborhoods to help us in our efforts to keep you safe. And I'm very proud of the work we've done, not only in gang violence, but my other priority is fighting mortgage fraud. We've been a leader in that area. I've made some tough decisions, decisions that I would making sure that our cases are heard fairly by the court. And I look forward to answering your questions.
We have a question. Again, the candidates will have 1 minute to respond. The candidates respond to the question. So, Dolores Carr, this first question will be for you to answer, and then Jeff, you'll be able to answer after. The DA's office is funded by taxpayers. What is your fiscal tax record, and what assurance can you offer voters that you will be able to get the most bang for your taxpayers' buck? Please give specific examples.
One of the first things I did as the incoming DA was to ask the Board of Supervisors to give me an independent audit of our office. And what I found out, amazingly, was there'd never been one before. So the board sent in their independent auditors, did not cost us a dime, it's out of their budget. And they helped us look at our operations. And that was very key, since I had to cut that $5 million from my budget right away. So we've been able to become more efficient and effective while maintaining our service level as high as we could. So we've lost staff. We're down to 168 lawyers. We used to, at the heyday, have 215. But we've used grants. The billboards you've seen out for workers' comp, those were paid for outreach by the state. And it was designed for community outreach. We had to spend that money on that, so that's why we went out and did that community outreach. And so we've been very focused on efficiencies and effectiveness in our staff.
Thank you very much.
When I'm the district attorney, I will be fiscally conservative with your tax dollars. And what I mean by that is I will focus the resources of the district attorney's office on public safety and the integrity of our convictions. At the same time that this district attorney cut the cold case unit and the Innocence Project, she hired 2 press information officers, which cost $260,000 a year to do public relations. I think that that money could be better spent on public safety. Now, the billboards that the district attorney mentioned as well that come from state funds, the district attorney has been criticized for taking advantage of her position by putting her name on those billboards. Her name. That's not something that I'm going to do. I'm going to focus your resources on public safety, and in terms of spending money on management audits, in addition, the district attorney spent another $100,000 training supervisors 3 years ago, most of whom are no longer supervisors. That's not the way I'm going to spend your money. We're going to focus on public safety and the integrity of our convictions. Those are the #1 priorities of the DA's office.
Thank you.